and to kind of just hone those things, if I could talk. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am the Brown Canvas, and if you have been here before, welcome back. And if you are a new visitor, hi. As you guys know, this channel is geared towards beauty, lifestyle, as well as travel. And I don't know if I have mentioned this before to you guys, but I am a flight attendant in my everyday normal life. And so I just kind of wanted to shift gears a little bit and give some tips or pointers on the interview process for becoming a flight attendant. So I have been flying for 6 years now. It's definitely been a very interesting career, I will say that. And I've seen some really amazing places, and I've made some absolutely amazing friends along the way during this journey. So I just kind of wanted to give my insight. Anyone else, if you have any pointers or anything that you would like to point out in between, then definitely leave your tips or your comments down below. Let's share, let's give some pointers, let's give some tips, and let's get you on from your video interview into a face-to-face interview. First things first that you want to be sure of, number one, with a video interview is that your surroundings are on point, okay? You want to make sure that you are in a very well lit area. You want to make sure that there is no outside noise, okay? We don't want anybody screaming in the background. We don't want anybody watching TV. Like, we want it to be as quiet as possible. So no outside noises. If you have to film at nighttime, or if you have to film during a time of day where there's not a lot of traffic going on around your way, then please be sure to go ahead and do that. You want to also make sure that wherever it is that you choose to record your video, that you have enough lighting, okay? Make sure that they can see your face, that they can see your beautiful smiles, and also make sure that they are able to see, you know, whatever it is that you are wearing. Now, granted, you don't have to wear anything from the waist down because they'll just be seeing you, you know, from the top up, but you just want to make sure that the area that you are in is well lit so that they can see that. So, numero uno, make sure that your surroundings are intact and on point. If you are using an electronic device such as a laptop, be sure that the Wi-Fi, the internet connection, is stable and it's good and it's not janky, so that it doesn't throw you off during your interview process. If you were using your cell phone to record your video interview, please be sure that you put your cell phone on Do Not Disturb, because I would hate for y'all to be getting a phone call while you're trying to answer these people's questions. Number two, become very, very confident and secure on what is your why. Why do you want to work for this particular company? And why do you want to be in the aviation industry? I think that that's so very important for you to express during your video interview. And don't just give the cliche, oh yeah, I like to travel and I like meeting new people. Because we've all said that, we've all made that mistake. And you know what, let me take it back. I won't say that it's a mistake, but I'll say that you have to dig just a little bit deeper in regards to standing out and giving your purpose as to why they should choose you. Why should they choose you out of all of the 1,000 applicants? Because I guarantee you 80% of those people are going to say, I love to travel and I love meeting new people. So find your why, get confident in your why, and express that to them. Genuinely, the recruiters, they can read when you're not being genuine about your reasons and your answers. So just take the time to really think about what is your why in this situation. Number three, become familiar with the company and with the culture of the companies. I want you guys to really do your research and figure out what the culture of that company is, what they represent, what they mean to the aviation industry, what their clientele usually looks like. And I want you to get very knowledgeable on that, because I found in my past experience that seems to be a very common question that is asked, giving just a little synopsis on what your understanding is of that particular company and what they represent. I want you guys to be very familiar with that when you do your interviews, so that you can express that confidently and you're not like, well, I know that they fly to, you know, this region and blah, blah, blah. No, get knowledgeable about it. You know, if the company is known for being fun, and the employees, what you have noticed about the employees, what seems to be a common denominator, those are all facets of what represents the culture of that company. So get knowledgeable on that, so that when that question does pop up, you're not caught up, okay? And you're not like a deer in headlights, like, oh shit. Next thing, practice recording yourself. This is something that is very, very important. Say it with me. Practice recording myself. I want you, a few days before your video interview, I want you to take your cell phone, go into the area that is most ideal for you to record in, and you get dressed as you would, you know, put your little collared shirt on, put your lipstick on, do your makeup, and just get very comfortable. A part of this is looking the role and being the role. And I guess that kind of goes back to the power of the law of attraction and manifesting. Get comfortable with recording yourself, looking into the camera, and review the footage and take time to look over questions or that you know could be potentially asked in the interview. Set a timer. Set a minute timer or a minute and 30-second timer to answer those questions, or then go back and review. I want you to review and critique yourself. And when you're done doing that, take some notes on it. And I also want you to show someone the video that you trust their opinion and they are very objective and honest in their critiques. And take whatever feedback that they give you and use it towards correcting yourself, so that when you do record yourself again for practice, you are able to correct those common mistakes that you were making. So if you are a person that looks down a lot and talks, or you are just overly expressive with your hands, or you use a lot of ums or smacking, use that time of practicing to correct yourself. You are now training yourself to become very cognizant of those things, so that when you are at the juncture of doing your video interview, you're not stumbling and you got it under control. You're like, I got this. I'm smooth sailing. This is just another hurdle for me to get over, and I got this. Next tip that I have for you guys is to do your research and utilize forums, utilize internet, go on websites such as Glassdoor. I want you guys to go on Facebook groups. For me, I did not utilize those resources when I was in the process. However, upon meeting different people, I've learned of these different resources such as Glassdoor and Facebook groups and different forums where people are very transparent on their journey in the interview process and getting their face-to-face interview and getting their offer letter for employment with the company. They tell you month by month, you know, they have a timeline and they give you examples of questions. And for a lot of people, you know, Some people don't get through on the first try. Some people don't get through on the second try. So it's a great form of encouragement for you. And you know, you can buddy up, meet other people who are within the same timeline as you, going through the same process, so that you guys can kind of anchor each other, and so that you don't feel as alone in the process. Okay, so my next tip, I want you guys to start utilizing the STAR method. And if you are not familiar with that, it's pretty much a bullet point of how you should answer questions during an interview. And it stands for situation, task, the action, and the result. So that's the format that you would use to answer your questions during the interview process. So the situation at hand, so whatever, you know, you're gonna give a brief little recap on whatever it is that you were dealing with. The task, okay, what was the problem? What needed to be solved? What needed to be resolved? Your actions, exactly what you did to alleviate the situation. And lastly, the results. What were the end results of this, okay? And when you get into the habit of answering questions in that manner, it just gives a lot more clarity to whatever it is that you are answering. A lot of the times people tend to go off into tangents, and then it's like, oh shoot, wait, what was the question again? Because they're not using a format to answer. So I want you guys to get into the habit of answering your interview questions in that manner. Going back to one of the previous steps of recording yourself on video, I want you guys to also pair that up with the STAR method, okay? And along with you recording yourself, look at how you are answering those questions. And if you are answering those questions, because like I said, people go off in a tangent, and then they think that they've answered the question, and the interviewer is looking at you like, so my camera died just as I was getting ready to close out the video, but nonetheless, I do hope that this was very helpful to you guys, and I wish you guys lots of luck on your video interviews. Keep me posted and let me know how they go. Take care. Bye.